Stop scrolling because what I'm about to tell you makes every Kardashian season finale look like a Hallmark movie. King Harris, yes, T.I.'s son, the prince of rap royalty, is facing what might just be the most dramatic, jaw-dropping, tear-soaked moment of his entire life. Picture this: doctors rushing in, family crying. The tension so thick you could cut it with a butter knife stolen from a Waffle House at 3 a.m. This isn't gossip. This isn't speculation. This is the kind of moment that makes fans question if they're watching reality or a scripted Netflix drama. You've got Tiny sobbing, T.I. pacing like a general at war, siblings gathering like it's the last scene of a Shakespeare play, and King Harris lying at the center of it all, the eye of the storm. The headline the internet can't stop screaming about, and the fans? They're losing it. Some are sending prayers, some are tweeting jokes sharper than a kitchen knife, and some are just refreshing their feeds waiting for the next leak. Because when chaos hits the Harris household, it doesn't just trend, it explodes. And trust me, this story is about to get uglier, louder, and more outrageous than you could ever imagine. This scene was chaos. The kind of chaos that makes reality TV look scripted. The kind of chaos that makes soap operas look subtle. King Harris, the son of rap royalty T.I. and Tiny, found himself at the center of a storm so intense, even Atlanta traffic couldn't compete. One moment, he was the loud-mouthed, crown-wearing heir to Trap's throne, and the next, doctors were rushing in, his family scrambling, and fans across the globe hitting refresh like they were buying Beyonce tickets. Now let's get real. King Harris isn't new to controversy. This is the same kid who once went viral for trying to fight in a Waffle House, as if his inheritance included a lifetime supply of bad decisions. He's been clowned for everything from his music to his interviews, and yet somehow he always managed to survive the roast sessions. But this time wasn't about a bad haircut or a sloppy freestyle. This time had fans whispering words like final moments and goodbye, words you don't throw around lightly unless you're trying to send the internet into cardiac arrest. So how did we get here? Let's rewind the tape. King Harris had been on a downward spiral for months, reckless Instagram lives, unfiltered interviews where he came for everyone from his own parents to entire fan bases, and that infamous "I ain't living in my daddy's shadow" rant that sparked more memes than an episode of The Office. Fans were already side-eyeing him, calling him a walking reality show without the VH1 contract. But then came the leaks. A blurry backstage video surfaced first, King looking pale, his energy off, surrounded by whispers. Was it exhaustion? Was it something darker? The blogs didn't wait for answers. They ran headlines like King Harris collapses backstage, and family prepares for heartbreaking goodbye. Within minutes, the internet turned speculation into fact. Twitter became a funeral home. Instagram became a war zone of crying emojis and clown emojis fighting for dominance. The first reactions were brutal. Some fans genuinely sent prayers, posting "Stay strong, King," like he was the Pope on a ventilator. Others? They dragged him, posting memes of him clutching microphones like it was his final performance. One savage tweet read, "Doctors preparing? Bro, they've been preparing his career for burial since 2019. The internet is cruel." And King Harris, lying in the center of this storm, was learning that the hard way. Meanwhile, his family's reactions only poured gasoline on the fire. Tiny was spotted wiping away tears. T.I. allegedly stormed through the hospital like he was still recording "Bring Him Out." And siblings posted cryptic stories with emojis that said everything and nothing at the same time. One sibling dropped a broken heart emoji with no caption. Another posted a prayer hands emoji. And just like that, the internet went viral. Emojis became evidence. Vague captions became confirmation. Fans built entire Reddit threads analyzing 3 dots in an Instagram story like it was a secret code from the Illuminati, and then came the wild theories. Some said King Harris collapsed from stress. Others claimed it was karma for his public feuds, and a select few swore it was all staged for clout. One conspiracy even suggested T.I. was orchestrating the whole ordeal to humble his son and reboot his brand. Because in 2025, nobody believes in coincidences, only in clout-chasing strategies. But here's where the sarcasm writes itself. How ironic is it that King Harris, the same guy who swore up and down he was untouchable, was now trending worldwide because of whispers about doctors preparing for his final goodbye? He once demanded respect as Atlanta's next big thing, and now the respect he got was people posting his blurry hospital photos with captions like, "RIP." Real internet punchline. The atmosphere was so dramatic, fans compared it to movie scenes. One viral TikTok edit overlaid footage of the Harris family rushing into the hospital with the Titanic soundtrack. Another layered King's old cocky interviews with the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song. The internet doesn't wait for the truth, it remixes it, but don't think the family was the only one reacting. Celebrities chimed in too because nothing boosts engagement like someone else's tragedy. Rappers sent out half-hearted prayers up tweets, influencers posted crying selfies, and reality stars reposted TMZ headlines as if they personally knew King. Even Boosie, never one to miss a messy moment, allegedly said, "Man, T.I.'s boy been trippin'." Doctors might need more than medicine for that one. The shade was merciless, and yet somehow it only fed the flames. Meanwhile, King's critics went into overdrive. People who had clowned him before saw this as their encore. Comment sections filled with lines like, "He wanted the spotlight, now he got it, and doctors preparing?" They've been preparing his mixtapes for burial too. The level of savagery was unmatched, but then again, so was the level of attention. Because for once, King Harris wasn't just trending for antics. He was trending because the internet believed they might be watching his final chapter. And that's the terrifying beauty of internet culture. Nobody waits for facts. Nobody waits for doctors to actually speak. A few vague posts, some tears from family, and suddenly the world's writing your obituary before you've even left the room. King Harris wasn't just a person anymore. He was content. He was clicks. He was the main character of a messy, tragic, outrageous storyline that fans couldn't look away from by the end of that day. One thing was clear, whether you loved him, hated him, or just laughed at his antics, you were paying attention. And for King Harris, who craved the spotlight more than anything, maybe that was the most ironic twist of all, but the storm was only beginning. If the leaks, the tears, and the speculation were messy, the fallout that followed made it look like child's play. Because once the celebrities, fans, and memes took over, there was no going back. The final goodbye wasn't just a whisper anymore, it was a headline, written in permanent marker. The day after the final goodbye whispers hit the internet, it was like the floodgates opened. Every gossip blog, every YouTube commentator, every TikTok page with more than 200 followers had something to say about King Harris. His name wasn't just trending, it was dominating every corner of the digital universe. If you searched King on Twitter, you didn't see royalty or chess pieces. You saw Harris memes, blurry hospital clips, and endless speculation. The first wave was sympathy. Hashtags like #PrayForKing and #StayStrongHarrisFamily flooded feeds. Fans posted candle emojis like they were building a virtual shrine. TikTokers uploaded teary-eyed prayer videos set to gospel music. And even church Facebook pages shared urgent prayers for the Harris family. For a brief moment, it almost felt wholesome. Almost. But then came the second wave, the internet's true personality, savage comedy. Memes erupted like popcorn in a microwave. One viral image showed King Harris photoshopped into a hospital bed, still clutching a mic, with the caption, "He'll drop bars before he drops." Another edit had T.I. leaning over King with the speech bubble. "Son, you embarrassed the family one last time. Savage? Yes, addictive? Absolutely." And the celebrities, oh, they weren't staying quiet. Charlemagne Thagot took shots on The Breakfast Club, joking that King Harris finally went platinum in hospital admissions. Social media lit up with clips of comedians dragging the situation, with one viral stand-up clip saying, "King Harris wanted to be out of his daddy's shadow. Congratulations, son, now you're in the ICU spotlight." Even fellow rappers chimed in. Lil Boosie, never one to miss a chance to stir the pot, allegedly posted on IG Live, "That boy King been wild. Doctors might need security, not medicine." Fans ate it up, spamming his comments with laughing emojis. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy tried to insert himself into the story as always, tweeting, "First rapper to survive final moments. Big Draco energy. The man can't help himself. The man can't help himself." As the celebrity circus unfolded, fans took things to another level, conspiracy theories. Some swore the entire doctors preparing narrative was staged for clout, cooked up by the Harris family to generate sympathy in headlines. One Reddit thread claimed the tears Tiny was caught shedding were too Hollywood, sparking accusations of VH1-level acting. Others speculated King was faking it all to launch new music, with one viral tweet saying, "Final goodbye?" More like final rollout. In today's world, tragedy and promo are interchangeable, and the internet treats both with equal skepticism. Meanwhile, Blueface, because why not, jumped into the conversation. The man has no connection to the Harris family, but he sniffed clout from a mile away. He posted a shady tweet. Final moments? Thought his career had those years ago. Instantly, fans dragged him for being insensitive, but let's be real, that's exactly what he wanted. Every retweet, every angry reply was free publicity, and yet underneath all the jokes, there was a real tension. Fans weren't sure what to believe. Was King truly in his final moments, or was this another case of the internet blowing things out of proportion? The lack of official updates only fueled the frenzy. T.I. stayed quiet. Tiny posted vague prayers, and King's siblings dropped cryptic stories. Emojis became gospel. One sibling posted a single clock emoji, and Twitter went viral, "Time is running out." This confirms it. The internet can turn punctuation into prophecy as the hours turned into days. The memes mutated again, this time darker, edgier, even funnier. One viral TikTok had footage of King Harris edited with the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song, while another had a montage of his past scandals. Set to Sarah McLachlan's In the Arms of an Angel, fans joked they were mourning and memeing at the same time. This was the twisted reality of digital culture. Tragedy becomes entertainment, and entertainment becomes currency. The Harris family, for all their wealth and fame, couldn't escape it. Paparazzi caught T.I. leaving what appeared to be a hospital, his face grim. Within minutes, those photos were plastered everywhere with captions like, "T.I. says goodbye to King." Even though he didn't say a word, the internet wrote the script for him. Tiny was seen crying in her car, and gossip blogs labeled it, "Tiny breaks down over King's condition." In reality, maybe she was just crying at Atlanta traffic. But truth doesn't trend, drama does. And here's the kicker. Every single move King Harrison made in the past came back to haunt him. His cocky interviews, his Waffle House meltdown, his feud with his parents, fans resurfaced them all, weaving them into the narrative like flashbacks in a drama series. One user posted a montage of King yelling at T.I. with the caption, "Funny how life humbles you." Another commented, "He wanted independence. Now doctors stepping in for him." Harsh, cruel, but undeniably viral. Through it all, fans couldn't look away. The Harris saga had transformed into a Netflix-level cliffhanger, and everyone was desperate for the next update. Was King recovering? Was this really the end? Or was the final goodbye just another internet exaggeration? Nobody knew, but nobody cared. The content machine had to keep running, and that's when the darkest realization hit. King Harris, whether he pulled through or not, wasn't just a son, a rapper, or a celebrity kid anymore. He was a storyline. His final moments were being consumed like episodes of a reality show, and the viewers were addicted. By day 3, the King Harris final moments saga had mutated into something bigger than just a family crisis. It had become a cultural circus, a 24/7 reality show playing out in real time with millions of spectators. The Harris family weren't just grieving or panicking. They were starring in a global scandal they never auditioned for. The first wave of the aftermath hit T.I. like a truck. The man who built his empire on trap music and hustler credibility was suddenly being painted as the father who couldn't keep his son out of chaos. Think about it, T.I. once went toe-to-toe with the law with rival rappers, even with the government over gun charges. But now the world was watching him lose a war he couldn't win. The war of controlling King Harris. Fans were ruthless. One tweet went viral. T.I. fought the feds and won, but couldn't fight his own kid's ego. The savagery didn't stop there. Memes of T.I. pacing hospital halls got captioned, "Rubber band man out here rubber banding stress." The internet had no chill. Tiny, meanwhile, became the emotional anchor of the story. Paparazzi shots of her crying in cars and clutching tissues turned into tabloid gold. Headlines screamed, "Tiny in tears as King fights for life." Every teardrop became a headline. Fans flooded her comments with both sympathy and shade. With one commenter writing, "She raised him like a prince and now the kingdom crumbles." The cruel irony of social media? It doesn't matter if you're grieving or not, you're still content. Then there were King's siblings. Each cryptic post turned into a breaking news headline. A single prayer hands emoji from Zonique became confirmation that King's health was critical. A sad face emoji from Damani was twisted into family prepares for the worst. The Harris kids couldn't breathe without their posts being dissected like hidden clues in a murder mystery. It wasn't just about King anymore. It was about how his entire family was being devoured by the content machine. And the public? They didn't just watch. They judged, hardcore. Half the internet was genuinely concerned, sending stay strong messages and prayers. The other half treated it like open mic night at a comedy club. Twitter threads turned into roast sessions. Final moments? Bro been in final moments of his rap career since his SoundCloud dropped. TikTok edits mocked him with sad music overlays, then cut to clips of his infamous cocky interviews. People laughed, people cried, but nobody stopped scrolling. The celebrity commentary only turned the fire into an inferno. Charlemagne the God doubled down, calling King the ultimate example of wasted privilege. 50 Cent, the king of petty himself, liked a meme that compared King Harris to Ya Rule, both fighting for relevance. Fans screamed that was the final nail in the coffin. If 50's clowning you, you're done. Even Kanye's name got thrown into the mix when fans joked, "At least these kids don't wild out like T.I.'s." The comparisons were brutal but effective, but the biggest twist. Leaks started dropping. Alleged hospital insiders whispered about what was really happening: fainting, exhaustion, maybe even substances. Gossip blogs pounced on every rumor like wolves, publishing unverified details just to feed the hunger. Fans who wanted the truth were stuck sifting through a minefield of lies, but by then, it didn't matter. Perception had already become reality. King Harris wasn't just unwell. He was trending as the face of reckless celebrity kids spiraling out of control. The aftermath hit King hardest of all. Even as fans debated whether he was stable, critical, or something else entirely, his reputation was already buried. Every old clip of him mouthing off resurfaced. Every fight, every cocky soundbite, every feud with his parents came back to haunt him. It painted a picture not of a victim, but of a cautionary tale. The boy who wanted to escape his father's shadow had created a darker, one of his own, and that's the cruel genius of internet scandals. It doesn't matter if he pulls through, recovers, or even comes out stronger. The memes, the roasts, the headlines will live forever. King Harris will forever be the kid in his final moments, whether it was true or not. His music? Overshadowed. His ambitions? Forgotten. His name? Permanently linked to this hospital room drama. The consequences rippled beyond the Harris family. Suddenly, every celebrity parent was paranoid. Would their kids be next? Would one slip up, one blurry video, one tear-filled post turn into a viral feeding frenzy? Hollywood parents doubled down on PR teams, clamped down on Instagram stories, and begged their kids to stay off live. But let's be real, it won't work. Chaos sells, and kids of celebrities are the messiest reality shows on earth. For the Harris family, the damage was irreversible. T.I.'s reputation as the strong, authoritative father figure? Shattered. Kanye's role as the doting mom? Weaponized. King Harris brand? Reduced to punchlines. The only winner in all of this? The internet itself. Because while the family scrambled in private, millions of strangers laughed, cried, debated, and refreshed, feasting on their misery like it was an all-you-can-eat scandal buffet. And yet, amidst the ashes, one truth stood out: this isn't over. If you know anything about celebrity scandals, you know they don't fade, they evolve. Today it's hospital rumors, tomorrow it's leaked interviews, and next week, maybe a full-blown Harris family war on Instagram Live. Because when it comes to this family, the drama doesn't end. It just reloads. So here we are, at the end of King Harris' so-called final moments, with more questions than answers. Did the doctors step in just in time? Did the family really say their goodbyes? Or was the internet once again caught binge-watching a tragedy that wasn't quite what it seemed? One thing's for sure, the Harris name will never be the same. And the next chapter, whether it's redemption or total collapse, is already loading. Because in this game, there's no final goodbye. Just the next headline. And there it is. King Harris didn't just make headlines, he became the headline. From hospital whispers to family tears, from final goodbye rumors to memes that had no mercy, this saga wasn't just a moment, it was a cultural earthquake. The Harris family tried to keep it private, but the internet doesn't do private. It does chaos, it does shade, and it does screenshots on repeat. But don't think this story is done. Oh no. If you know anything about this family, you know the drama doesn't wrap up neatly with a bow. T.I. still has pride to protect, Tiny still has tears to cry, and King? Well, he still has a point to prove, even if the world has already turned him into a walking meme. The next chapter isn't months away, it's minutes away. And when it hits, you'll want front row seats. So smash that like button like it owes you rent. Drop a comment, are you team sympathy, team savage, or team this whole family needs a Netflix deal? Don't just scroll past like you weren't glued to the drama. Hit subscribe, because around here, scandals don't sleep, and neither do we. This channel doesn't do lukewarm tea. We do boiling lava, the kind that melts reputations and leaves the internet in ashes. Tomorrow's headline? It's already brewing. And trust me, it's messier than this one. You've been watching Trend Tattle, where the tears are real, the takes are savage, and the truth? Always louder than the lies.